Hello everybody, this is Lara with your Monday to Friday update for Bitcoin, Ethereum and XRP, and as you can hear I am not well, so this will be very quick. Continuing on higher, the last upward session for Bitcoin has some push from volume. Look for support for any pullback, 68,800, but I expect that's fairly unlikely. I expect energy to be released to the upside and to see some pretty explosive upward movement in Bitcoin. I expect the bullish run to continue for 5 to 11 months, and that's based on analysis of past data. An increase in volume day on day pushes price higher. Good to see that the volume for 10th of March was higher than the volume for 6th of March, so volume returning. Now we've had an upward breakout. The trend is still very extreme, but not as extreme as it can get. RSI is still overbought. There's no pivot developed here, so we can't identify bearish divergence here. Previous bearish divergence really didn't lead to much. Money flow in neutral. Plenty of room to go for this trend. Zooming out on Ethereum's Elliott Wave count today to show you how I'm drawing my acceleration channel. It's an adjusted channel. Draw it from the high of minute 1, which I have for the 9th of December, to the last high, pull a parallel copy down to sit across these lows, or maybe not these ones, but sitting across these. It's the upper edge, it's as important. As price keeps continuing higher, keep redrawing the channel, and eventually, when minute 3 is complete, minute 4 may find support at the lower edge. For now, looking for the end of minuet 3, and then a brief little pullback for minuet 4, may not move into wave 1 price territory below 2717.20. I could label minuet 3 complete here, but I think it's probably more likely it's going to continue higher. I'd expect sub-minuet 5 of minuet 3 to be longer than minuet 3, so longer than 957.55. Technicals on the daily for Ethereum, look for next resistance about 4,200. Any pullbacks, look for support 3580. Volume pushing price higher for Ethereum as well. ADX still declining though, telling us there's no clear trend. RSI even more deeply overbought. There's not too much room now before it can continue overbought. For Ethereum, I'd be looking for a pullback, not yet, but possibly sooner than the other two. Money flow still neutral. ATR showing a strong increase in volatility. Stochastics solidly overbought, so because there's no clear trend, a model of stochastics plus support and resistance would expect a downward swing to support at this point. I think that's unlikely though. I think if we get pullbacks and consolidations, they'll be relatively brief and shallow. I don't think this model of stochastics plus support and resistance for a trendless market is actually going to work. At the weekly time frame, there is still an upward trend for Ethereum. XRP had a really strong upward session with the high at 0.7473 cents yesterday. A little bit of a downward reaction today. Look for support at 0.675. Really normal to see a downward reaction. Imagine in terms of energy, this is like stretching out a spring and now it's going to snap back somewhat, but that stretching out is still going to leave some permanent stretching in it. We're going to get a little snapback and then we're going to be able to stretch it out again. So support 0.675 for a pullback to test before moving up and away. Next resistance 82 cents. That upward session had really strong volume. That is fantastic to see for XRP. Zooming out and looking at the volume profile, you have to go all the way back to September 2022 to see stronger volume, and the strongest volume in the last couple of years is September 2022 here, July 2023 here, and now yesterday, March 2024. It is upward sessions that are showing greatest volume and range for XRP. The volume profile remains bullish. ADX has given us the strongest bullish signal it can give. It has risen up from below 15, which is a relatively low level. It now has a positive slope. The positive DX line is above the negative. ADX tells us XRP is in an upward trend in a very early stage. Now there will be pullbacks and consolidations along the way. That is absolutely normal, to be expected behaviour. RSI is again overbought, but only just. There's such a long way to go for this trend for XRP. It's in the earliest stage of all three. Money flow neutral. ATR showing a fantastic increase along with volume. Volatility has returned to this market. This is extremely bullish. I'm going to finish with the trend is your friend. Bitcoin particularly, so obviously, is in an upward trend. I have the other two also in upward trends. Do not short a bull run In a market as insanely volatile as cryptocurrencies, you will be on track to wipe out your account if that's your behavior. I would even go so far as to say, please, if you are learning to trade, do not learn to trade in cryptocurrencies. The high volatility means extremely high risk. You will wipe out your account more than once before you learn a good system and decent risk management. Focus on learning risk management on a market much more tame like euro-dollar. Do not try and learn to trade cryptocurrencies. And if you are trading these cryptocurrencies, stick with the trend. When they have a bullish run, they can be extremely volatile, and volatility can increase to the upside with very little warning. If you're holding a short position, that could wipe out your account very quickly. Stick with the trend. The trend is your friend. And I'm going to add one of my maxims, comes from Adrian Edmondson and Mr. Jolly Lives Next Door. I love that movie. Never ever anything short a bull run.